Hey, what's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know, they call me Napalm, brother. Hey, I was just on the grip training subreddit for the first time in a while, and I saw a question that is actually, I think it's a fairly common question regarding this piece of equipment. And it's here's the question: what is the recommended technique for training with the wrist wrench? Keep the wrist straight or extend it a bit and do more like a pinch grip. So, the question doesn't come up a lot, but when people are talking about wrist wrench, they want to know what is the best way to train it. So, with a lot of things, it's going to depend on what you're going after with your training. Now, if what you'll notice is if you try to keep your wrist straight, okay, check it. By the way, look at this. This is freaking awesome, dude. This is, I don't know what you call this, but I've been I've been meaning to start wearing these for a while. This is super super cool, bro. Look at this. Awesome. They're skulls. I don't know if you can see, but they're skulls right there. Okay? Look at that. I've got several of these. It's like a decorative scarf for your wrist, man. Look at that. It's very cool. So anyway, if you keep your wrist straight, it's going to be a lot harder to lift big weights than if you let your wrist come back. And that's because your wrist is, for most people, going to be stronger at 15 degrees, more or less, of wrist extension. Okay, so see how I'm not totally neutral there? Here I'm neutral. And then, of course, if you try to gooseneck beyond neutral, it's going to make it harder as well. And in fact, you might even feel like pinching or crunching going on in your wrist if you're trying to lift with a gooseneck like that. So you have to be real careful. But mainly, you're going to notice it's a lot harder to do it with your wrist neutral like that. So you can do it both ways. The numbers are going to be quite different. And there's value to doing both ways. But you're going to be able to lift much more. So if you are looking to lift just more sheer weight on the wrist wrench, then you're going to want to cock the wrist back. If you want to keep it more strict, then you can do it like this. Now there are some people like arm wrestlers that have a very very strong wrist, and they will be able to keep their wrist straight and then kind of dip under it like this. Okay. It's going to look like this somewhat, and they're going to pick it up like that. So basically what they're doing is they're creating a strong, braced, locked position in the elbow, and they can almost like lever the weight up. And some people can do a lot of weight that way as well, and their wrist is probably going to be straight or maybe even a little bit flexed. But for most people, they're going to have their forearms straight up and down as they lift. So it really doesn't matter. You can train it both ways. You can kind of track both of those styles of lifting, but really they are two separate styles or techniques for using the wrist wrench. They both have value. They're going to make your hand work a lot harder if you keep your wrist neutral. You're going to train and be able to lift heavier weights if you allow your wrist just to cock back. If, let's say, you're training for the inch dumbbell, what way should you train on the wrist wrench? Well, it depends on how you're strongest with the inch dumbbell. So if you're strongest with slight extension, then train the wrist wrench the most of the time with wrist extension. If you're strongest neutral, which is hard for me to believe, but it may be the case, then train the wrist wrench that way. Some people are stronger if they gooseneck, if they have a tremendously strong wrist. Then you might want to train the wrist wrench that way for the inch dumbbell. But it really depends on what you want to get out of the training. So look at it like that. Hope this has been helpful. If any follow-up questions regarding the wrist wrench are out there, then please leave a comment below. Don't forget, during the month of December, I'm doing 31 days of Q&A right here on the YouTube channel, so make sure that you subscribe. If you found this stuff helpful, then give it a thumbs up, brother. And don't be afraid to share with your friends. All the best in your training, everybody. Hope your training is going well. Take care.